everyone. Welcome to Chicks and Salsa. It has been a while since we've all been together on the same platform together. We are waiting on Carrie to join us as well. There has been some technical difficulties. I don't know if it's storming over there, but it's definitely storming here too. So maybe that's the problem. How's y'all's weeks going, ladies?
It's going good.
How about yours?
It's going well because I'm finally off in the morning. I do not have to set my alarm. Those are the best days when you don't have to set your alarm.
Can I mute her candy? Because I don't like her.
Well, I just did 10 days straight, so.
Well, and I'm actually off tomorrow because I work on Saturday, though, then.
Oh, okay. I volunteer to work on Saturday myself, so I understand that. They are going to be doing
nice because you can get other things done during the week that you can't get done on Saturday, like doctor's appointments and like that without taking off. And we work less time on Saturdays, so it works.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for mine in particular, they are doing a charity softball game at the stadium that I work at. It's the firemen versus the police officers, and so I volunteered to work that. Really excited for that. If y'all are in Amarillo, make sure y'all go out to that. First pitch will be at 7:05 on Saturday, and it's $10 to get in the door. Concessions will be open.
Awesome! Sounds like fun.
All right, guys, let's jump into our topics because even though there's not a ton of sports going on right in season at this moment, there has been a lot going on in the sports world. Jen, do you want to start us off with your topics?
Sure. So I was just going to talk about the Hassan Reddick stuff with the Jets. Yay, Carrie's here. Yay, Carrie's back. Woohoo!
Yeah, y'all kicked me out in the first round.
You know what, Carrie? We did not kick you out. We couldn't see you.
Go live.
You're man in black like Johnny
Depp. I'm just going to go live without her. I'm like I've been here all along. It's funny.
I know.
Oh no, it was showing a circle that was going around. Like it wasn't showing your picture. It was showing loading.
Yeah.
No worries. I'm here.
Yay. So Carrie and I were talking about this in the chat the other day, the Hassan Reddick juicy stuff. So basically, when the Eagles traded Hassan to the Jets, it was with a caveat because there were several other teams interested. But every single team knew that whoever took him or traded for him, they were going to have to pay more money. Right. The Jets agreed to this. Thus, the trade occurred. Back in April, one of their other players left the Jets. I don't remember why. I don't even remember who. Carrie, do you happen to remember who? Okay. But they, so I don't know, like, if this is adding fuel to the fire, but the general manager, the head coach, and the owner have all come out and said, we're not going to give him any more money.
Okay.
We're going to charge him $50,000 a day per league rules that he can, that he skips out on practice. But here's the deal. Like, you got a spoken oral agreement, and the Eagles have come out in support of Hassan saying, yes, this was the deal.
Right.
So,
I mean, like, what does he have left on his contract? 1 year, 1 season?
I think 1 season.
I mean, and it stinks for it to go this way, but I doubt that. I don't know that any of us have any expectations for the Jets, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I personally don't. Whenever they went after the circus that is Aaron Rodgers. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that he's incredibly talented, and we've talked about this plenty of times. But just the media circus that goes along with Aaron Rodgers is what I mean. So when they were willing to go after that, and he's almost 40 years old, and there's a question mark on his productivity, I think you can't take the Jets serious. So when have we ever taken the Jets?
Thank you. The Jets are like quarterback purgatory. The Jets took Aaron Rodgers out in week 1, and like the first 5 minutes of week 1, like, right. And I mean, they're all injury prone. Let's say facts. They're doing a gladiator sport, but to take Aaron Rodgers out in the first 5 minutes, come on now. And then Michael
have an O-line, and why Aaron Rodgers thought they had fixed it because he said that he wasn't going anywhere without an O-line to protect him, and they didn't have that. And then four plays in, he was out for a season. So why we even think that the Jets have any credibility is questionable. But I'm going to counter that with this little receiver called Mecole Hardman that the Jets picked up after he had Caleb Williams is not king, but okay.
That's Mike, y'all. Y'all have to ignore him. He's a diehard Chicago fan. It doesn't matter what Chicago.
Oh, Mike, I love you. You're hilarious, but
no. But Mecole was picked up by the Jets as a weapon for Aaron after he had a pivotal play in our win over the Eagles. Okay, the Jets did. Rob's really pleased with me in the background. The Jets did not play him, did not use him to his talents. We're dogging him, keeping him benched, all of this, release him, and the Chiefs pick him back up. And, oh, wait, let's replay that. And Mecole Hardman has another key pivotal play to help us secure our back-to-back. So, Mike, you're cracking me up, dude.
As long as
that's
it's not
I think you have to double. I think you have to double down with it.
Crap.
That's what you got to do. Like, I mean, he's your quarterback now. You got to support him.
Yeah, I want to see your painted nails tomorrow. So let's see him.
Just no white nail polish.
Blue and orange. Blue and orange.
But yes, I think we have to take a look at the organization at that point. So,
oh, agree.
Is it Hassan? No, I don't think it. I mean, yes, he does have some out there, but you also have to take it in fact that, obviously that there is something wrong with the organization directly. If they're not
I agree with that. Because like we were talking about Hassan and his productivity last year with the Eagles, and the Eagles defense as a whole struggled the second half of the season. And so, yes, of course, he has his role in things as well. So not to take that off of him, but for them to support him afterwards and saying like, hey, that was the deal. I like that, like to back him up, regardless of the fact of him being there or not, like that was the deal. And I like that. I'm glad the Eagles spoke up at least. And as much as it stinks, he's probably just going to have to play this year and then test free agency afterwards,
Well, yeah, probably. But like to Carrie's point, honestly, the entirety of the Jets organization has to be looked at in depthly. Like, we don't have coaches like Matt Toll, and Urban Meyer up there. But there's something going on there because y'all remember 2 years ago when the first 3 weeks of football season, NFL they had to go in and research their turf because they took out so many players, not just quarterbacks, but so many players, both theirs and opposing teams, and they like the Jets. Honestly, the Jets are the only team in the NFL that have gone through more quarterbacks in the last 5 years than the Carolina Panthers. Like, it's pathetic.
Agreed. But yeah. I think you're absolutely right. You have to circle back to who are we talking about? We're talking about the Jets.
Right.
Who legitimately have not really had a team to field. When was the last time they had one?
But who's
they have a defense. I'll say this. They've had a defense for the last 3 to 4 seasons. They've had a very solid defense.
Yes, the defense pushes through the spaces. When have they had any offense out there? They were hoping to reignite that with Rodgers, but they didn't even have the defensive line to protect the man.
Agreed, because that's why Mike White died 7 times last season.
Yeah.
And the season before.
Was it Broadway Joe, the last good quarterback they had?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say yes.
And I'm not being facetious,
I will say Mark Sanchez did. I mean, it's the Jets. It's the Jets, Mark Sanchez,
That's just because you want him to be your other future husband.
That's incorrect. We're towards Trey Lance right now. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right, Carrie.
He's kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie.
He is kind of cute. You're right.
He is kind of cute.
Carrie, you want to talk to us about your topics tonight?
Well, I'm going to be really honest. I was up till way late and then worked all day. So I'm gonna let you guys take, and I'll probably just add 2.
No problem. Candy, you want to talk about your topics?
Sure. Let's talk a little bit of baseball. I mean, let's face it, baseball is in season right now. We only have a month to 2 months left in the season, depending on which league you're going for. I'm just going to kind of go over the standings. Let's face it. Let's start with the National League because that's pretty much my league. Miami Marlins are doing horrible. They're bottom of the bottom right now, but and they've made a lot of trades. Like I was surprised at the deadline how many trades they made, and they even threw in the towel early in the season when they traded Luis Arias, the batting champion. Oh, back in what was that? I mean, May. That was like crazy. Mm-hmm. But anyways, the top of the NL East, the Philadelphia Phillies, no surprise, 69-50. The Brewers are the top of the NL Central, 67-52. And then the NL West is, the Dodgers. No surprise there, 71-49.
Right.
Those are the 3 teams that are definitely in it right now. And they have sizable leads in their respective division. Like so
the West though, let's go back there. So the Dodgers are 71-49, but the D-backs are 69-53, as well as the Padres 69-53. So I have a question: are you able to have 2 wild card teams come out of the same division?
Yes,
because if you look at the records.
Because right now the wild card teams would be the Arizona Diamondbacks, the San Diego Padres, and the Atlanta Braves.
Well, they're the ones that are performing. It would be like saying, okay, I realize you don't have anything but a best average or below average teams in the Central.
Right.
And but because you're from the Central, we're going to force you to take people. No. We want, ultimately, as fans, you want the best of the league to be out there competing for the top prize, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. I will say with the NL Central, though, much improved. Now I realize the Cubs and the Pirates are both under 500, well, and the Reds too, but big jumps for them. The Cubs were pretty similar to last year, but big jumps for the Reds and the Pirates. And I do see the Pirates being able to do something over the next year, depending what their draft looks like, and just really competitive all the way from 2 to number 5 within their division.
Yeah. But right now, I'll say the team that is playing really hot are the Padres. They came into Miami.
Oh, yeah.
We were watching them, and they are hot. They are a hot team right now.
Okay.
If we want to, let's head over to the American League. The AL East right now is the Yankees at 71-50, but the Baltimore Orioles are right on their heels. They're at 70-50, so they're only a half game back. In the AL Central, it's the Guardians at 71-49 with the Twins at 67-53. So they're like 4 games back. And the AL West would be the Houston Astros at 64-55 with the Mariners at 63-57. So they take the top from each of those divisions, and then they take the next 3 for the wild cards. So on the American League side, the Guardians are in, the Yankees, the Astros. If we ended the season right now, the Orioles, Twins, and the Kansas City Royals would be the ones that would go in with the wild cards.
Yeah, no wild card for the AL West, which is really depressing. Being the Rangers fan, so we dealt with injuries all year, but definitely not going to lean on that. It was more. Our bats were just MIA this season and have been. I mean, I think last year we had injuries with pitching, which is our MO all the time. And we were able to get through that because, one, we played good defense outside of pitching. And then our bats were ridiculous because somebody can have a hot pitching night, but if you're hitting 12 to 15 home runs a night, which was happening, or hits a night, and that was happening, then you can still get outscored. And that has just not happened this season. I'm not sure why. I don't have any explanations for it. And I'm probably just going to ride off of this one ring for the rest of my life.
Well,
Corey's our Royals person. So
Right.
he's still listening. I know that has to be exciting because the Royals have not had a lot of notoriety.
A lot of action since the 2005, 6.
Won the title, man.
Yeah, I know. Rob was reminding me. Yeah, I know they won the title recently, but they hit high and then they drop. I mean, that's typically how it's been.
Right.
As far as I can remember, it's like they either ride just on the outside of the friend zone, or they get the one day to sell it.
Well, they're only a game and a half out right now from the wild card spot, and if anything out of last year's World Series taught us anything, is that all it takes is that one chance, because both teams in the World Series were wild card teams. So anything can happen. Now, because look, last week the Rangers were still in the running. They were only 4.5 games back, and then they lost that series to Houston, and then they lost that series to the Yankees as well. And when you play a divisional team and you lose to that divisional team, it kind of counts twice, because it counts for in the positive for the team that won, and then double negative for the team that lost.
Yeah.
So a lot can change. I'm still not giving up hope that we could get it, but I doubt it kind of happens. But what can you do? Reigning defending champs, or just reigning, not defending.
I think it'll be interesting. The Yankees and the Orioles kind of battling it out. The Yankees went
Yes.
trade deadline and got Chaz Chisholm, but he actually was injured the other day, so we don't know how long he's going to be out for. So I think that'll make it a very interesting run to the end of the. They placed him on the IL with a elbow sprain. So
dang.
We'll see. Yeah. I mean, he was.
What I like about the Orioles is they're a team similar to the Mariners of recent. They built their team through their farm system really well. And then also there's a local 806er that plays for the Orioles. I got to shout him out. Heston Kjerstad. He is the young man that got hit in the head right before All-Star break. And so I don't know if he's come back yet. I'm not sure. I know he was in concussion protocol. So
that was a big hit too.
It was really scary. And the way that was handled, not by Baltimore, but the other team, it wasn't handled very well.
Yeah.
We should give kudos to Juan Soto. He hit 3 home runs last night. That's a rare feat. I mean, I'll admit we were in Milwaukee when we saw the Marlins play Milwaukee, and the Marlins actually had the second hit for the cycle by Edwards, and we actually were there to see the game. That's the second time in their history, so that was cool. To say we could.
Absolutely. Well, so the Olympics concluded this past weekend as well. Let's talk about our favorite moments from the Olympics.
Ooh,
somebody jump out there.
Okay, this is Olympics related, but the American gymnastics team is now filing a grievance. Carrie knows. Because the person who ruled in favor of Jordan Childs giving back her bronze medal, they have always ruled in favor of Romania. So now, yeah, it's a huge deal. Did I send that in the chat last night? I don't remember. But I was reading this last night. But that's a big deal. So, and I
feel so bad for the Romanian gymnast, because to be perfectly honest, when I watched it, I thought she deserved a medal. And not to be anti-American, but to be honest, y'all know I'm a realistic fan. When the Cowboys are terrible and doing their bull, I call them out for it. Yeah. I don't sit there and just act ridiculously. And I thought the Romanian gymnast deserved a medal, whether it was silver or bronze, because I thought she performed that way. The level of difficulty for her routine was that. And so I just feel really bad for her, because now it's tainted no matter what happens. If she gets if she keeps the bronze, it's tainted. If they take it from her, you feel slighted as well. And so it just stinks.
Well, and the whole reason why it was they said that it was over a minute.
Didn't they give her the bronze? On Jordan Childs, wasn't it the level of her difficulty presented wrong to begin with. So
yes.
And they missed that by reporting that by 4 seconds. I mean, there's like a whole bunch of little idiosyncrasies that fall in there, but it's going to be tainted no matter what.
Right. And I do think that this is something that happens every time we watch the Olympics. There have been other people that had to sit. There have been other people athletes that have had to wait for whatever, like, there was another one that was waiting for a gold for almost 2 years for them to make their decision on that.
Well,
and so it's happened. It just, when it's in a scored, like a judged event, it's just so hard to prove it going another way because it's based on opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, like because there were ice skaters from Beijing who were just awarded their medals.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it happens all the time.
Yeah, it really does. It was a pretty cool ceremony, though. I'm not going to lie.
The ending ceremony. Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Got married and the lady was pregnant. Like, it was cute. Okay.
Oh, we got the medal ceremony for the ice skating team.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, also our women's basketball team won their 8th straight gold. DT won 6 gold now. So all of y'all that are posting this bull post talking about KD has the most golds in Olympic history. DT exists. 6.
Yeah.
I don't know how not to take anything away from KD having 4 golds. That's awesome. That's amazing. But it's not the most. DT has it. So it was a really nerve-wracking game. It was one of those that it was hard to even watch. Like, I had to walk away from the TV sometimes because I was like, oh my God, are we about to?
I was rooting for overtime.
It was the most dramatic finish of all time, the closest deficit out of any of these gold games. Gabby Williams is such a baller. And we got to get her back to the WNBA. Now, she did decide she didn't play last year. She had some troubles getting back to the United States last year. And because she had a concussion and they wouldn't let her fly while she was in concussion protocol at the start of the season. And so then there was some back and forth and she decided, hey, I'm just going to dedicate my time to my national team because the Olympics were coming up. And obviously we can see what a difference that made because they were in that gold matchup game. So, Jeremy said the snub of the Steph Curry to give to LeBron, the MVP, irritates me. I can see it both ways, to be perfectly honest. The gold doesn't happen without LeBron, but then in that exact moment, in that particular game, it doesn't happen without Steph either. So I can kind of see it either way. I
do have to say, for as much as Brittany Griner has been through and gone through, the statement that she said, my country fought relentlessly to get me home. The fact that I could fight and help bring home the gold is immeasurable, or something along those lines. And it was a really touching thought process for me. I was like, that's pretty introspective, and being able, feeling like you've been able to at least step up to the plate for the country that supported you and brought you back home. And I thought that was really neat. Regardless of how that all fell apart, came across, the fact that she acknowledges that it was a hard-fought battle by her country to bring her home, that she was able to do that for her country.
Candy, what was your favorite part?
I just taking it all in. I mean, just seeing the different events and the different stories that came out of the events, like the different success stories of people that have never, won anything before. That's what really, some of those stories really touched me. So, but ladies,
I agree with that.
I need to go. You guys keep going.
Okay.
Have a great show. We'll see you guys next week.
Okay. Thanks,
I'll
Candy.
talk to you later next week. Crushing. Oh, sorry, Troy, or the tiny guy. I don't know why I thought that was.
That's Carl. And Jeremy, I see your comment. I understand that. She has since stood for the national anthem. I will just say personally, it was a peaceful protest. And so, it is her right. I know for me personally. Right.
And
whether you agree with it or not, but it is her right as long as it's peaceful. But I love her attitude towards it now. Like I said, I know for me personally, I stand and it is emotional for me. And that's something that matters to me. But I also haven't walked the walk that other people had. So I choose not to judge it just as long as they're peaceful. But that's just me personally. I guess my favorite moment from the Olympics was the moment that Sha'Carri looked over when she was on the relay, and she looked over at the lady that was running for Great Britain, and she knew instantly. She looked over and she was like, I got it. And she took the last 2 strides and won gold right then and there. And so that was probably my favorite moment from the Olympics.
And my biggest favorite moment of the Olympics? Biggest. It was all of the updating and posting that Miss Carrie did on our page. Like, she was all over it. You were phenomenal at that. So thank you, Carrie.
Well, it was neat because I just happened to see these things coming through. It was like, wow, this is the first time, or this is all these. That is what makes it really exciting and interact. That whole let's cheer on the world, because I felt like that the Olympics this year happened to be a Band-Aid the world needed.
I can see that. I can see that. I mean, it definitely felt like there was, a lot of times there are, because that's awful. You're right.
Jeremy Ballrick.
Megan's the only single one here. I'm just saying. Come on, French football.
Yeah, that's tough. But I agree, Carrie. I think it was something that not only the world needed, but definitely America. Because there's so much division right now. It seems like there's something every single week that we're all getting divided about outside of the election as well, on social media. And so it felt good to see us actually care about the Olympics, because it's been a while since people even really cared about the Olympics. I think that's somewhat generational as well. A lot of times, for me personally, we didn't have cable growing up most of the time. Sometimes we did, sometimes we didn't. And we waited on the Olympics. It was such a big part of our viewership, whether it was in winter or summer. We waited on the Olympics. So was very happy to see the interest in it as high as it was. And they could not have marketed the LA Olympics any better than the closing ceremony, because it's so good.
And who doesn't love
there now? We've got some more work to do, ladies, but the 4 of us are going to be at the 2028 Olympics in LA.
Who doesn't love that Snoop Dogg became everybody's grandpa?
I love it. I love it.
Don't say he's a grandpa. You're not even a grandma yet, so hush your face. Not generally, he's older. He's a lot older than you. I get it, but no, because he kind of.
I think he is a grandpa, though. I think he is a grandpa.
I figure a lot of times.
He's so old.
I love that post that I posted that said that, somebody was talking about their mom saying, oh, how much I love the coverage from Snoop. And that person was like, hey, remember you grounded me from buying that when I bought that.
Oh, I love that. I shared that from you, by the way. Thank you.
Because, yes, my parents did not. I know Mom would have loved Snoop's just not with her. But they did not love the fact that I loved Snoop Dogg. When I was growing
Agree. I think the hidden gem that came out of all this was definitely Flavor Flav. Like, I think that he definitely showed people how to support female athletes without making it a handout, without degrading them in the process of giving them help, because a lot of times that's what happens. You get thrown scraps and you're like, hey, here, take this coverage. Hey, you can be on national TV, but you're going to be on at 12 a.m. WNBA. Before we get out of here real quick too, I'm going to run through the WNBA standings, and because play starts again tomorrow. So just a reminder where we are after the Olympic break. At number 1, we got the New York Liberty. They are 21-4. Sabrina coming off of a hot performance in the Olympics as well. So she's been doing really well. And number 2, you got the Connecticut Sun, who also made a trade right before the Olympic break and picked up Marina Mabry from the Chicago Sky, adding some shooting And then at number 3, you've got the Minnesota Lynx. They are 17-8. Number 4, you got the Seattle Storm. They're 17-8 as well. At number 5, you got the Vegas Aces, reigning defending champs. They are 16-8. Some question marks about their point guard. She didn't look healthy in the Olympics, so we'll see what's going on with that. Then at number 6, you got the Phoenix Mercury. DT, obviously not healthy as well. She tweaked her ankle, and that's why she wasn't playing a lot during the Olympics. She said that the game is faster paced, and she couldn't keep up with how bad her ankle was hurting. Then at number 7, you got the Indiana Fever. They're 11-5. You got the Chicago Sky at number 8. They're 10-14. The Atlanta Dream at number 9, 7-17. LA at number 10. Washington at number 11, and then Dallas at number 12. But they did get some good news today. They just cut Mo Billings, and they also cut Odyssey Sims. Hate to see them go. They filled in really well for us, but that means that our entire roster is healthy.
Woohoo! One more thing about the Olympics, and I'm really sorry because you both know, and I think Candy knows too, how I feel about KD. But when you got to give props, you got to give props. Because he now has the most points scored in any Olympic basketball game. So
he surpassed Lisa Leslie, and I thought that the way that he shouted her out in that as well, I respected his entire Olympic run. And that's hard because KD talks out the side of his neck most days.
Yes, he does. And also, I've got money, figuratively, if anybody wants to do a literal bet, on when LeBron buys another WNBA franchise.
He could. He definitely could.
I mean, that pride on his face.
The Romanian sharpshooter is the ultimate Gen X dude. I
think he's Turkish.
Turkish, right? I'm sorry, I got to go me. The Turkish sharpshooter. All right, if I must. But have you read the backstory on that?
He's a retired police officer, right?
He just decided he was going to start doing this, and he's like, I don't need anything extra. I can just go up and shoot my gun.
I love it.
Mic drop.
The Olympics this time had some really great moments, and I know there were some controversial moments as well. I don't think it'll be a sporting event without one. It seems like nowadays. So just glad that everybody was watching and enjoyed the Olympics. Thank you guys so much for coming and watching us this week. I know it was not our normal day. That's my fault. But glad that we were all able to come in on the screen together because it's been a while.
Yeah, Megan. Hiding out on us, pretending to work our butt off. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. There's 140 games in the AA season, so 142 games.
It's a lot. It's By the way, I never sent you my present to you. I'm sorry.
No worries at all. In fact, I'm not at that address anymore, so probably good that you didn't send it.
Yeah, right. Very good.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, that does it for us this week. Unless you ladies had any other shout outs or anything, I think we'll call it a night.
Yeah. Thanks, ladies. If you guys have any suggestions, reach out to us. And Jeremy, you always make us laugh. Thank you.
Yes.
Hit us up via Messenger, post on the page. Let us know if you have anything. Talk to you guys later. See you in 7.